Hey everyone, how you doing? Today we got a request to do a quick yoga stretch like warm-up to start your day off, or to do right before you do like a really intense cardio workout, or just a long like aerobic workout in general. So yeah, we're gonna just get started here real quick and come to an easy position seated on our mat. We'll take a couple of deep breaths first, setting into our space. If you're doing this early in the morning, it's nice to breathe, come into yourself, or even in the middle of the day, taking a second to just breathe. So let's do this. Tuning in. Feeling the air fill up your lungs and leaving your lungs. We'll take one more breath here. We're going to start moving our neck side to side. Elongating through the side of the neck, waking up our body. Let's do a couple of rolls here, just to the front, stretching this back into our shoulder blades. If there's a spot that feels like it needs a little bit more, pause there. Let's take our hands, come to the back of our head here, lightly place them and let that hang down. Getting a little bit more stretch. Let's look under our right elbow. Breathe here. You might be feeling this in your upper to mid back. And let's move to the left. Looking under that left elbow. Come back to the middle, raise up. We can look up here, get a stretch in our shoulders, look up to the right, breathe, look up to the left. All right, let's move to a Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. You can either have it try as close as possible here. You might not have your knees all the way to the ground, and that's perfectly fine. Just consciously work them towards wanting to pull up and down here. Coming very straight in our spine, holding onto our toes here. Now let's just bend through the hips. We're going to bend straight forward. Really coming down here from our hips. We don't want to round our back just yet. We really want to get a nice deep stretch here in our hip flexors, back of our body here. Right, and when you've come to the point of not being able to move anymore, let's reach our hands to the front and just crawl a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, go a little deeper. And release. You can curl your back now. Really feeling that stretch. Maybe even rocking side to side. Let's inhale and walk our hands over to the right. Our nose over our right knee. And you can even take your left hand here and push down on that left knee. Thigh right here, actually, not underneath the thigh. I'm really getting that kind of twist and deeper stretch. Take one more breath here. Let's walk back through the middle to our left side. Bringing our right hand to our inner thigh here, give it a good push. Ooh, might be right in the morning for you. Might be a little bit stiffer in your hips. That's okay. That's why we're doing it. kind of working through those muscles, waking them up, getting ready for our day or our more intense workout. Take breath here. And let's walk back to the middle. Stretch out one more time. And come back up. Now, we're going to let our feet come out a little further in front. Our star pose. You might find a little bit more relief in your hips and you can come down a little farther towards the ground here. And again, we're just going to stretch out from our hip, point flat back, look straight out in front of you till you can't go anymore, and release. Breathe here into your hips. And let's do that again. Let's walk over to the right. Just hovering our nose over knee. Getting a deeper stretch here into our side body. Inhale, exhale, walk to the left. Let's come back to the middle. One last stretch forward. Walking those fingers out. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And let's come back up. All right. We're going to come to our Dandasana, staff pose. Moving, if you need to, any fleshy parts so you can really sit down on your sits bones. This is actually really good for your core, surprisingly. So we can take our hands right here either by middle of your thigh or your side body right underneath your shoulders. And let's engage our feet and our quads, standing up straight. Breathe here. Exhale. Inhale our arms up. And let's come forward, either grabbing onto your ankles or your feet. And then again, let's move from that hip instead of that back part. Leaning over, let's inhale up. Exhale, stretch a little deeper here. Really engaging through those feet still, flexing. You want to feel this, you'll feel it really deep in your hamstrings, maybe even into your lower back. Let's inhale. Exhale, try to go a little bit deeper. All right, and release. We're going to dive onto our hands and knees, tabletop position here. And just do a couple of cat-cows. Getting awakening in our bellies, our backs. You can go at your own pace here, whatever feels good. Stretching into those arms, looking to our left, our right, twirling. All right, wherever you are, take one more breath. And now let's stretch out through our right leg onto our toes, and let's just rock here, waking up our calves. Getting a nice deep stretch into those calf muscles and maybe even those toes a little bit, waking them up. Good morning. Deep stretch here. Let's inhale, exhale, and switch to our left toes again. Really feeling that deep stretch in the calf muscle. Rocking back and forth. All right. Then coming back to tabletop, let's do one more cat-cow. Extending through our belly. Looking up, feeling that stretch in the front of our neck here. Uncurl our tail. Having a hollowing out feeling in our core. Breathe and neutral spine. Let's push back up into downward dog. We're gonna squeeze in our bellies to our thighs. Push up. And we can walk our dog out a little bit. Waking up. This is our first downward dog of the day. So waking it up, getting it moving. Press into that right foot, that left. All right, and whenever you're ready, coming to stillness. Really feeling that extension, almost like an equilateral triangle. One side your arms, the other your legs. All right, when you feel comfortable, let's lift our right leg up, opening up those hips. Really stretching, looking under that right shoulder. Coming to a square, flexing those toes, pushing back. Let's bend our knee, hugging in towards midline, and let's set it down, your shin parallel to the top of your mat. Pigeon pose. Now if this is a little intense for you, you can bring your heel closer in to your pelvis, and that will give a little bit of relief. But if you want more of a stretch this morning, let's come as parallel as you can. You'll really feel that again in the back of your hamstrings, your IT, maybe even in your lower back. Let's come here, pushing up into a mini back bend. And exhale forward. We're not going to stay here too long, just enough to feel that stretch. Feeling that pull towards the ground of your left hip. Breathing here. You can even come and drop your head. And take one more breath here, wherever you are. Let's push back up. We're going to come onto our left toes here, shift forward, and let's press back up into one-legged dog, opening up those hips, rolling it out, little circle, switch circles, and then come to meet our left foot. And let's just go to the next side, lifting that left leg, opening those hips. Waking that up. Come to a square hip here. And again, squeezing our left leg into that midline and sending it down parallel. Now this side might be a little different. So you could either have it closer to your pelvis or straighter out. Whatever it feels like, each side is different. Everybody's hips are different as well. So again, let's find whoever feels good there. Stretching up and release. Alright, take one more breath here. And push back up. Again, coming onto our right toes, shifting forward and pushing back into three-legged dog. Rolling out that hip. And then meeting our left to our right. Let's slowly start walking our feet to meet our hands. This might be switching onto your fingertips or keeping flat palms. Alright, our feet are going to be hips distance apart. And let's just hang here for a minute. Grabbing onto our ankles or the ground or even our shins. Wherever it feels good. hanging left to right here. Shaking our head, yes, no, circle. Let's slowly, a little bend in our knees here, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, our head coming up last. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, prayer pose. Now we are standing. Awesome. Let's breathe here for a minute into Tadasana. Acknowledging where we are now. Are you feeling a little more energized? Maybe stretchy in our legs, ready to start the day? Take one more breath. Bend in our knees. Inhale up and exhale. Now we're going to come to another little stretch for our legs here, an intense side stretch. So we're going to bring our right foot to the front and our left foot just back, almost just a footprint back away. Having our hips square to the front of our mat. And if this is a little intense, feel free to bring your foot out a little bit, but we want to make it almost like on the midline here of your mat. So we're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, bring our hands to our hips, and again, that same bending motion from our hips. We don't want to bend with our back. From our hips, we can pull our tail out this way, our head goes out this way, and you're going to feel a deep stretch in the back of our hamstring and into our calf. Sit here for just a minute, feeling that deep stretch in our right leg. We're going to bring our hands to the back and cross them. They can be like this, working towards the back here. Let's move forward until you can't go anymore and release down, bringing our arms above our head and relaxing our neck, feeling that deep stretch. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to come back up, again with our hips, and release our hands. Let's just go to the other side, left foot front. Again, approximately 1 footprint in between your feet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale them to our hips. And again, we're pulling our tail back, we're pulling our head forwards. We're keeping our chest lifted, bending from our hips. When we are at almost a 90-degree angle here, let's grasp our hands behind our back and do the opposite thumb this time, where it kind of feels weird. Getting a switch in our brain this morning. Okay, let's bend forward, and release our hands above our head. This side might be different. You might be right here, you might be closer. Acknowledging where you are. Breathe, letting those hands come up. Let's inhale back up here. Releasing those hands, shaking it out. Alright, let's just do one more sun salutation just for good measure here. So we're going to bend our legs, knees, inhale, arms up, slight back bend, all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. We're going to walk our hands out into a plank, our first plank of the day. Remembering we are strong, we can fly. We're going to lower down into chaturanga. Slowly our elbows pointing back, coming down hovering, hovering, and pull through to cobra. All right. Inhale, exhale down, and push back up into downward dog. Our last downward dog of the day, coming home. Let's walk our feet up to meet our hands. Inhale, release. Exhale. Inhale, reverse swan dive. And prayer pose. All right, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day and a great rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in, and to my quick warm-up for you, namaste.